In recent years, the occurrence of suicide among Louisiana National Guardsmen has been of great concern to all members of the Louisiana National Guard family. To combat this threat, the Adjutant General has called upon soldiers and airmen and their loved ones to educate themselves of the signs and risks of suicide. Today, suicide deaths have dropped significantly, but even one death is one too many.
We know that majority of our soldiers, especially in the National Guard, that are committing suicide have never even been deployed. So that tells us that we are in need of support from the family.
I was deployed to Iraq, and I was an 88 Mike heavy vehicle operator, and I performed convoy security. We had to drive from roughly 12 to 28 hours straight with non-stop movement. Things did change from when I left and when I returned. I joined the military funeral honors roughly 2 to 3 years ago. We were working a lot of details for a lot of young soldiers committing suicide. By seeing all these suicides, it brought me down worse, thinking, well, I'll be the next one because I'm feeling the same way as they are.
We really try to work with soldiers just to give them the positive coping skills, just to get through just life in general. It may not have anything to do with combat. They may have not even been deployed, but maybe struggling with just everyday stressors, everyday life stressors. Some of the troublesome signs, of course, is that the soldier or the individual is not themselves anymore. They begin to feel hopeless. They're not as happy anymore.
First few signs that I've noted was anger, the lack of patience, the understanding, and it slowly started growing to rage. And to help with that, I started drinking quite often, more and more each day, to where it started affecting my life, my personal life. Work noticed, the guard noticed, and when everyone started noticing I started having issues, I figured it was time for me to go seek some medical help.
What I've seen is majority of the time the alcohol and the substances are used to self-medicate from the core problem of financial difficulties or relationship problems. So usually it's just a symptom of an underlying problem.
A guardsman who is normally outgoing and cheerful all of a sudden is withdrawn and not responding to the normal things that this guardsman would. Many times we know that a soldier or an airman is going through monetary issues or relationship issues. Those are some of the big issues that soldiers deal with, and those are oftentimes one of the issues that lead soldiers to suicidal ideations. A suicidal ideation is when a person is considering the act of suicide. They may have a plan for it, they may not, but a suicidal ideation is simply a mental thought of, should I end my own life?
I did think about the possibility of suicide because I've done buried so many of my friends. I couldn't take much more pain and suffering like I've been feeling at that time. And I was fearful and ashamed to seek help because I was afraid that people would look less on me and think down on me, and they'll look at me as that guy who needs help, who couldn't handle it, and made me look weak. And I was afraid that they might judge me differently for being weak.
Suicide prevention and resiliency training is designed to increase soldier, family, and leader awareness of the signs of suicidal behavior. This promotes help-seeking behaviors and the ability of guardsmen to provide intervention, care, and referral for those who feel desperate and are at risk.
Because we all go through issues and problems in life, and you may fix one problem now and a year later there's a different problem. A lot of this training focuses on how you deal with the problems. That way, no matter what comes to you throughout life, you have a plan and a strategy to deal with it.
There's there's no reprisal for coming forward stating that you have some emotional issues, and it may not even be an emotional issue. It may be just an everyday adjustment issue to life, stress. Everyone has issues. Everyone comes to their breaking point. So when we can intervene very quickly, we can get the soldier back out on the mission.
The resiliency training course teaches you there's always another option. There's always a positive outlook.
We feel that any guardsman that takes this training, if they pay attention, focus, and keep up with what's being taught, that they can go back to their unit and teach this training and explain the procedures, explain the basic steps, and empower soldiers or airmen to better deal with their troops that are dealing with that issue.
I've found that it does help, because I've used my resiliency training more than once with other soldiers who's going through a lot of hardships and hard times. With the resiliency training, there's really nothing that can get in my way. Just ask your command. Ask them to set you up an appointment with the chaplain or the behavioral health officer and talk to them one-on-one. Seeking help is not a weakness, it's a strength, because you admit it to yourself and to others. Because that's why you have the battle buddy system. You're never alone. You fight no battle alone. You always got someone to the left and the right of you. Let them be there to support you while you're down. Because the military is not of one, it's of many. You got brothers and sisters all around. And all you got to do is ask and they will come. I had all these fears in my mind and it was for nothing. Because everything turned out better than ever by me seeking the help I needed. Everything's a lot better now.
By continually improving awareness, we can minimize suicidal behavior, thereby preserving the mission effectiveness of our guardsmen and the unity of our families. If you or someone you know appears to be at risk of suicide, please call the numbers on your screen and seek help now.